morning, guys. It is Monday morning and I decided it's time to vlog again. I've had a pretty tough first couple of weeks of this year or this month, and that is why there has been no vlogs. So to make a long story short, I started vlogging in September and I was going to go into October and do that. And in the beginning, the first week in October, I had a couple of rough days. I have 3 days in a row when I went to all my doctor's appointment, and I had some interactions with one of the doctors that made me worry about our doctor-patient relationship. She's slowly started to forget to give me my medications as I should. She write down other things in my journal than that she's talking to me about, and there's a lot of strange things going on. So that was rough. I can tell you that was rough. And emotionally, I kind of felt that I can't have another doctor that is this way. I already gone through one of them. And then I saw my therapist, and we've been kind of trying to figure out what these emotional kind of bottom is about, and I'm starting to figure things out that I didn't know I felt and I didn't know I was afraid of, and it was a lot to deal with that day or that around there. So I didn't have the energy to edit the videos, and I was postponing them. I was recording them, but I was postponing the editing, and then I found myself that it was the 9th of October and I had videos worth of like 10-12 hours to edit, and I said, well, I'm not doing this. I'm not trying to play catch up with these videos. I'm just gonna scrap them. So I did. And then I started recording last week because we've done a lot of things in the apartment last week, and I wanted you to come with me. But the thing is, Christopher's parents came this weekend and I can't vlog when they are here. It's impossible. It's hard to vlog when Christopher's home, because I need to kind of shut myself into rooms and stuff, because we always have some kind of noise going on. Maybe that Christopher is watching something on the computer or gaming or something. So there's always a little bit of sound when it's just him and me. But when Christopher's parents are here, it's sound all the time, everywhere, and usually multiple of them at the same time. I love them to bits, and I love having them here, but it gets very intensive, and this apartment isn't big enough, so I don't know, it takes a lot out of you with all the sounds and everything. But vlogging it doesn't work, and that was why I did vlog the beginning of in the middle of the last week, and then this I decided like, no, I'm not going to do. So yeah, that is a recap of the beginning of October. So let's get this day started. Good morning, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I was talking to you about changes that have been made in this apartment, which are a whole lot. Last week we worked really hard and we got a lot of things done, so I thought I'd show you around. So the first thing we're gonna look at is this room, and I'm sorry if the lights will change from back and forth, and this is mostly because of the camera. White lights, and it's actually very dark outside, or it's overcast outside, so yeah. But this is how it's changed. This is the big change for the craft room. We've been talking about changing things up because I have felt that the storage solution in the apartment hasn't been, or in the craft room hasn't been ideal. Before, the only storage I had behind me or around here was one bookcase here, and it's hard to get to, and it's hard to lift things, and I was actually hurting my back. And these boxes that I have up here had a tendency to be on the floor instead, because it was easier to pick them up on the floor than trying to get in behind the lights and everything. So we decided to take 3 of our billet bookcases and cut them down. So these are not full-sized ones, they are actually cut down to fit perfectly underneath this strange window. And then I could put everything, my papers here, my stamps, some of my colors and stuff, my pens and everything into the bookcase, and have more room on my table. So yeah, my craft room is getting in here, and that is kind of the first part of our change. The second big change is my hair. As you see, I actually done it pink again because I love pink hair and it makes me happy. It makes me kind of, I go by any mirror or anything, like the reflection in a window, anything, and I see my hair and it's pink and I kind of smile and it helps me be happy. So yeah. The second big change in this apartment is that we have kind of gone through the kitchen. First of all, this was just a mess. We had piles and piles of stuff. I cleaned that off. They're still over here. They're sort of organized, but they are gonna go into cupboards later when I figure out where to put them. But yeah, we're working on the one place for each stuff. Then we have the kitchen. You might have seen this kitchen in the background of my videos, and it's usually very, very messy. So it was time to get this cleaned up. One of the big changes is that I removed everything except the oils from here. This one is gonna go into a cupboard when we find space for it. I'm gonna kind of explain that later. And then I just cleaned everything up again here. Because I removed the mixer that is there, we had more space here for the water boiler and the rice cooker. This is going to go away. It was away, and then Christopher found it on our balcony, so we see what we're going to do about that. And then just try to clean up a little bit here. So the whole kitchen is so much more organized, which I really, really, really like. Then we're going to go to the next wall in the room, and that is this wall. Over here is where 2 of the bookcases that I have in the craft room actually were. And we've been discussing it, and we're probably gonna buy a half high, one of those billy bookcases to put here. And then we're gonna buy doors to this bookcase and that. So that bookcase will have just white wooden doors. This will have on the bottom white wooden doors and on the top glass doors. And this whole cupboard is going to be for like glasses and Christopher's fine rums and stuff. So this is going to be more an extension of the kitchen, and so is the half high over here is also with the doors gonna get. We are going to move the big thing. Okay, the big thing with our kitchen is that all of these it's not enough space. It's not made to keep like dry goods. Right now we have all our dry goods in this one here, and that just doesn't work. So we are going to move stuff here that we don't use on a daily basis into cupboards down here and try to get that cleaned up a little bit so that we get more space in our cupboards and more stuff. Here we have done a lot, and the big thing is we have actually removed 3 moving boxes of books, books that we are gonna go kind of give to charity or friends or whatever, because we realized we are not reading them, so why do we have them in our bookcases? What we kept, these is my Bibles, it's my Harry Potter books, and yes, I keep them on the same shelf. But yeah, so that is kind of what's in there. And then down here is more like tech, art and cross-stitch books of different shapes and forms. We haven't organized this. The things that I've put in here, there and up is just because we didn't have any space for it and we hadn't figured out yet. This has to be clean. And yeah, that is the bookcases and how we organize them. And I'm gonna keep updating you as we buy the doors and show you how that will look. And now we had the third part of the organization that Christopher parents help with, and that is we have a wooden floor. This is something Christopher have been wanting to do for a long time. This is our balcony. It's not a huge balcony, and these chairs are actually a little bit too big for the space, but it's okay. But we have had a plastic floor in here and ended up putting some mats on top of it because it was pretty cold. It's a cement slab, and then we had a plastic floor that didn't really work. So Christopher and his father have done this. He had an idea, we had to skip that idea because the boards were too wide. So this is another kind of wood. They're still a little bit damp. They will dry out as time goes by. So hopefully that will, and it will grey out and not be so green. And then we have Gizmo. He's not a new thing in this little house, but yeah, I think he is watching some birds or listening to some birds. But he's adorable, right? So yeah, that is the apartment tour for right now. There's big changes that we have done in the apartment this weekend. So yeah, this weekend has been extremely intense. Also on Friday Christopher had to work, so I was alone with his parents and had to kind of structure the whole fixing the craft room. So basically that was what we did on Friday. We got the bookcases sawed down so they fit as they should, and then we moved everything in here and kind of filled up the cupboards or the bookcase, mainly me doing that. And then on Saturday we went and bought the floor and set up the floor. We also got threw a whole bunch of things away on Saturday, and we went to Afa, which is a kind of celebrity restaurant in Stockholm. So Afa is a Viking inspired restaurant in the old city of Stockholm, and they serve very kind of Viking-esque food. It's very much base foods. They don't serve potatoes, they serve other roots like carrots and stuff, just fried together, really good. Or if they, no, I don't think they're oven baked, but anyhow. And then you get meat to that, and you can choose from a whole bunch of different things. Everything is very Viking recipes, very simple spices, but it was kind of nice. You more go there for the atmosphere than anything else. And we ended up having a special table. They have a table in the restaurant that they usually can't book, but Christopher parents tried to book online, figured out that there were no tables ready or available for this weekend, so they called in and asked if they had something. So then they have, yeah, we have this specific table, and you have to climb on a ladder to get up to the table. It was hilarious. It was really nice though, and it was really nice food. So yeah, I enjoyed the weekend. However, I'm exhausted now. So yeah, it's been intense first couple of weeks in October, but I'm slowly getting more happy. I'm slowly getting more energized, and I'm doing more stuff. I still have a really bad migraine, and it does get worse towards the evening, but hopefully the migraine will kind of lift soon with the help of the medication. Then I'll hopefully get in the beginning of next week. So yeah. So guys, it is actually time to head to bed. I unbraided my braid. It's not as on curly whirly as it went yesterday or last time I did it, because I think it didn't dry enough. Actually, I think it didn't dry enough. It was sort of wet when I unbraided it. I've had kind of a more tiresome evening, but I kind of expected that because I'm having hot flashes, a lot of them. I'm doing my progesterone treatment. Every other month I do 10 days of progesterone to counteract the estrogen treatment I have for my hormone replacement therapy. And I usually feel a little bit off when I eat that medication. And this time around I have a lot of hot flashes, so I haven't really slept. I had plans of getting my video up a certain time, but I just didn't have the energy to do everything I wanted today. However, I did get the video up, so one point to me. I have a lot of fun things that I'm going to do tomorrow, or plan tomorrow, sort of. So we are going to head to bed because it's time, it's late. I spent most of the evening in the sofa with Christopher. I did some cross-stitching while he was gaming, and then we looked through a couple of episodes of TV series and stuff while I was still cross-stitching. I finished the black cat, or he still needs yellow eyes and white whiskers, but I almost finished the black cat. So yeah, I'm gonna head to bed, so good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Bye!